Hey, welcome back traders to another backtesting session. We're going to finish off the last week of April and this is going to go into the first week of May. So it will be non-farm payroll week, meaning I won't be making any paper trades on Friday or Thursday, but I will still walk through the price action for those days just to kind of see, how price develops. But Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are going to be the trading opportunity days. So if you do enjoy these kind of videos, please like this video, subscribe if you haven't done so, and let's go ahead and jump right into the chart. Now I have it set on April 6th. This is the previous Friday, end of day on the daily chart, just to get a big higher time frame of where we're gonna go. So we have been consolidating a lot, but past couple of weeks we came back down into this large inefficiency, took out the sell side below these lows, and now we're kind of getting a little bit of retracement. I did mark out this daily fair value gap, but obviously we closed above it. We're still trading above it. I don't think there's going to be that significant, so I'm going to take it off. This one up here is much larger. Now, let me go ahead and zoom in, but before I do, pay attention to this purple right here. This is the daily void. There was no trading here, so I think ultimately we will be returning back into there, but we're having a slight retracement before we head down even lower. Now zooming in, you can see that there is a little separation here between these candles. So I'm including the volume imbalance and I'm looking at this SIBI on the daily chart for where we could return back into. So we're kind of rallying up. I think we can rally up a little bit more into the SIBI. I'm going to keep an eye on 50% of this. If we can stay in the lower half of this daily SIBI, that's going to signal to me that yes, we will be going down for lower prices and perhaps going back down into that void. So here on the hourly chart, if I'm thinking we're going to go back into the SIBI, I could use today to go long. I'm looking for these relative highs just below that SIBI. So once we get into the red, we could start taking profits. So looking at what we have so far, pretty big consolidation. Let's see, today is April 29th. Below us, we do have a little bit of a gap, so I'm going to go ahead and mark this out. Not going to mark out the gap, but sell side is here. We could even take out this little sell side, and then I'm looking for displacement higher. If we do start heading lower, there is a 1 hour BISI here. We'll just mark it out just in case, I suppose. That's going to be this right here. But I'm thinking that we may not get down there. If we do, whatever, I'll look for some kind of displacement to the upside before looking to get in. And yeah, if we do start trading below it and using it as resistance, we could head lower, but I really want us to return into the SIBI before we start heading lower. So here's the 5-minute chart, and we have those sell side down here. I have the buy side up here. I'm just going to go ahead and walk through, see what 830 has to bring, and see what 930 will give us. So we already have a poke above for that buy side. So this has already been traded to. We could go back up there again, but I think it's good enough. If we start getting displacement lower, we're going to be reaching for the sell side here. I'm not looking to go short today. I still think we have room to run up into that daily SIBI. So I'm waiting for sell side to get a sweep. We did do it once here, but since we already took a buy side, I'm waiting for price to come down, take this low or this low, and then we start seeing displacement up. So 930, we did get another higher run, went down lower, took out these relative equal lows, and then at 930 we went back up one more time. There's going to be a potential BISI here. Now, if we get confirmation, I may consider getting in, although I would like a deeper, retracement to the sell side, taking out at least this low before actually going up. We did come back into this inefficiency, so it may be acceptable if we get a confirmation. Okay, and I just said all that stuff a little too early. Boom, we dropped down hard at 935. Down to take out both of the sell side targets. So that is what I'm talking about. We've been back into this inefficiency, and we even have some sell side down here if it chooses to go even lower. And of course, remember, we also have that 1 hour fair value gap. I'm gonna go ahead and just remove these. I'll leave this one here, make it a dotted line, but yeah, just gonna wait until we start seeing a turn back to the upside. Okay, so we're starting to go higher, but you know, we could be coming back for these inefficiencies and head lower. And also there is no fair value gap BISIs on the upside. So I'm gonna have to wait a little bit longer, see if we're gonna be using these SIBIs as inversion or not. 11 o'clock, so far nothing too exciting. You can see that we pretty much have overlapping candles, no fair value gaps. It's just kind of consolidating. Kind of looks like a high resistance day, so we may not get a trade today. Okay, and it's 12:15. I'm done for the day. No trades, no opportunities. Like even here, I thought maybe we had an opportunity here with this SIBI, but because we had all this consolidation, it took a lot of time, so I wanted to wait for confirmation. As I waited, we went back through this SIBI, started trading back up once again, and we closed at equilibrium, the middle between the high and the low of the day. So pretty much a nothing burger for this morning. So maybe the PM session has something, but of course, again, not trading the PM session, but we'll take a look at the end of the day. Maybe it'll give us a hint on what to do for tomorrow. So the PM session was more volatile, but I'm not sure if you were able to get into a setup. What you could have saw was that we took the buy side here at 130. Then we had a displacement lower with this fair value gap. It gave us a confirmation with a second fair value gap here, but don't really like how this already took out this low. But there was an opportunity that when it comes back up here, you could have entered somewhere in this inefficiency. I don't know if I would have taken that or not. Maybe there was like a 2 or 3 o'clock news or something, because it just dropped down into that 1 hour BISI, 1 hour BISI, I believe, and fair value gap. We can see that the bodies of the 5-minute candles did not close in that BISI. We just wicked through a few times, and then we rallied all the way back up pretty much to where we started during lunch. So looking at the daily, kind of an indecisive day. Didn't really give us much of a hint, except that we do have a volume imbalance here. So I will put in this volume imbalance. This could play a role like going into the rest of this week. Maybe it will be like, you know, support, or it will be used as inversion to the downside. Not sure, but just gonna put it here just in case it may come into play. So Tuesday morning, and okay, so remember that volume imbalance. Okay, I'm going to zoom in. That volume back, technically it is the new week opening gap as well, so keep that in mind. Is the new week opening gap. On the hour chart, you could see that we went through it, we wicked through it a lot, but none of the 1 hour candles has closed in it. So my idea that we're still going to be bullish, I think, is still in play. I'm gonna go ahead and just extend this one. It's still going to be in play. I think we're going to be heading up into that SIBI hopefully today. We'll see what happens, but just drawing out the intermediate buy side liquidity and the I don't really want to draw this one out. I don't think price is going to go that low. What I can do is, because we have this really long 1 hour wick, I'm going to draw out the midpoint of it, which pretty much is the low of that new week opening gap. And then I'm going to get rid of this, and let's go into I'm going to go into the 15-minute time frame, see if there's anything I can see. Nothing really. I guess you can mark out these buy side up here, these relative equal highs. We did come down and touch that new week opening gap once again, but no displacement yet. Just going to have to wait, see what 8:30 or 9:30 has in store for us. Will it give us a little bit more volatility? So 8:30, big drop to the downside, back into that 1 hour fair value gap. This time it did lay a body in it. Now if we start trading above these candles that create a big drop, then I'm going to start looking for a setup somewhere in here to go long. Otherwise, if we retrace back into it and we start displacing lower, that could be a potential setup for the downside. And zooming out to the hourly, if we keep going down, we do have this low that I didn't want to draw out. Go ahead and mark it out here. And then of course, remember this low right here, which is going to be halfway between this fair value gap. So 9:30, we started having a run up higher, and we went above the bodies of these down candles. So there is a change in the state of delivery. No inefficiencies down here, but there's a potential fair value gap here. Am I willing to take it? Well, if I do, the risk will have to be down here at 825, and we could potentially enter here at 863, which is about 40 points of risk. Yeah, I guess I can take that. It'll give me, I think it'll just be one contract. So yeah, let's go ahead and go for it. We do have a change in state delivery. My higher time frame is going to be bullish. I am looking for this high to get taken and go into that buy side. So yeah, let's go ahead and try for entry here if this fair value gap remains intact. If it closes in, no entry. Okay, and the fair value gap does get closed in, so there was no entry. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this. Just gonna keep waiting until we see a fair value gap. Okay, 1045. So we do have a fair value gap to the downside, and then we have a fair value gap to the upside. And I like how they're kind of in the same proximity, so they line up, creating a balanced price range. This is also good because we have that new week opening gap as well. I think if this fair value gap remains intact, I'm going to go ahead and try for it with my stop down here. And my entry, of course, is going to be the high of the fair value gap. I think with, let's see, 62 to 27 is a 35 points of risk. I'll refer to the spreadsheet, one contract at least, maybe two. We'll see. But yeah, aiming for, I'll zoom out a little bit. Maybe I'll take partial above these highs because they're kind of flat, but this is a good target here. And of course, I'm looking for that SIBI on the daily as well. Okay, so maybe I should have waited for confirmation. We did get a pretty big pullback. My risk is here, one contract if I get stopped out. You know, non-farm payroll do tend to be pretty choppy. I'm not really worried, but you know, I'm not really liking this deep retracement. I hope this new week opening gap holds up and we start going higher from here. Okay, so it did come and take out this low one more time, going back into a fair value gap. So I did get stopped out. I'm gonna keep looking for another entry. Still gonna be bullish. I'm waiting for price to come up above this high for a market structure shift. That will also create a breaker, and I can look for probably another fair value gap somewhere in this area as well. Of course, since I already took a loss, it's only gonna be 0.5% of risk from now on. Okay, so price did drop down even lower. Zooming out, I probably should have waited for confirmation. I mean, like looking back, there was no other fair value gap to the upside. This was the first busy, so I should have waited for confirmation here. I got a little too eager, and I should have realized that we do still have relative lows down here, even though this one did poke through a little bit. May not be enough to do the job, so we did go down even lower. Now I'm definitely going to be waiting for a confirmation entry or a market structure shift above this high. But we may not get it. We could be going down for, remember, there was another low back at this purple line, so we could be going lower today. Also, it is 11:30, getting close to the end of my time window, so I'm guessing maybe there won't be any more trades for the rest of the day. And here we are at 12:15. End of my time window, no other opportunities. After I took out those relative lows, pretty much just consolidated for the rest of the morning. Gonna take a look at the rest of the day, see what happened in the afternoon, and I guess we'll move on to the next day. Now what I'm hoping for is not price to come down any lower. I don't want to really see price take out this low. Hopefully it just hangs out around here, and we'll see what more tomorrow morning will look like. Okay, so at the end of the day, you can see that we did go much lower. Going down to a 1 hour chart, we actually went down below this low, came down below this big imbalance here. We may even be heading lower, going to a 4 hour. It looks like we may not come back into that SIBI. Maybe they'll be saved for a future run. We'll see how tomorrow looks like, but now I'm kind of turning my attention back to this low, and we may even go down below this low this week. It's kind of like what I'm thinking now. I'm kind of turning my attention lower, which is okay because even though it didn't go up to that SIBI, because it failed to get up there, it's kind of telling me that we are going to be weak. But of course, non-farm payroll week, anything can happen. And with tomorrow being Wednesday, will be the last day for me to get in on a trade, because I'm not going to be trading Thursday or Friday. So Wednesday morning, last trading opportunity day this week. We have calmed down into this 1 hour busy. Now I want to see pre-market price go up, take out this high for a little bit of buy side liquidity. If we do pop up, we could go into this 1 hour SIBI, but I don't really want to see price trading above it. I want to, if we do go up, I just want to see a tap. I want to see a wick in there, and then we reject it. I want to see a strong rejection, and then maybe I can find some way to find a setup to get in, and then go for the low of pre-market at 6 o'clock. And then of course these relative lows down here, that would be my target for today if we start displacing lower. And that's pretty much what I'm looking at. I'm not looking to go for any longs today. Yep, just let's see what happens at 8:30 and 9:30. Okay, I jumped way far ahead here. It is 11 o'clock. You can see at 8:30 we did rally up, didn't take out those overnight highs, and 9:30 didn't do too much. We did start going back down, took out this low here. But if you look at the price action, look at the wicks. We're pretty much wicking everywhere. So this is classic non-farm payroll week action where we're overlapping the range of each previous candle. So really choppy today, and being 11 o'clock, I don't think I will have an opportunity to get into any trades today. My only hope is if we quickly go for the buy side here and then we start displacing lower, but I kind of feel like we may just consolidate for the rest of the morning. Okay, so 11:30, we did drop down one more time, took out this low, but we created relative equal low. So this is actually a pretty new target. We went back up into this fair value gap. This is the first fair value gap. I guess this was the last, this high right here at 9:30 was the last time we swept buy side liquidity, and we didn't really have an inefficiency here going down. I would like to wait for confirmation, but I also feel like if I wait for confirmation, it's not really going to give me a an entry before coming down for these relative lows. If I do enter here, my risk will be this high 492. My entry will be here at 464, about 30 points. Could try for it, and then right there, so this would be about a 1 to 1.5. Let's see how many contracts I can actually take with that. Okay, so if I take one contract, it'll be a little bit more than 0.5% of risk, so 0.52. Normally I would say like, hey, I'll wait for price to go up a little bit higher and I'll add in a second contract and make it close to that 1%. But this is the first SIBI. It may not be a great setup, but I am looking at relative lows. I am bearish overall, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot with just one contract, about half my normal risk. See if we can get a little bit of profit for today. Okay, so I went up a little bit more, and of course I expected it because today is high resistance. You can see all the wicks here, so having a deep retracement, not a surprise. I mean, you can even try to like go in on half of this wick right here if you wanted to. I was keeping an eye on there. You can see the bodies here pretty much stopping at 50% of this wick, so that's a pretty good sign. And then we started dropping, creating a fair value gap here and potentially another one. So at this point I could lower the risk a little bit because I'm not really liking today's action. So I could go ahead and just move my risk down just a little bit. I don't want to go crazy because I think if it takes out this high, it can go ahead and run for my stop anyway. So I'm just going to reduce the risk a little bit, not break even, just going to have a little bit less risk. And let's see if we can get to our target by 12:15. Okay, so right at 12 o'clock noon, we wicked down, hit our target. And as you can see, like even though we have these confirmation fair value gaps, it did not retrace to go get it, right? I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking would happen. So instead of waiting for the confirmation, I went ahead and got in on the first one with half my risk, right? Remember, I was not trying to play my normal risk with this one because I know that it could easily just go up there for the buy side. But anyways, got a little bit lucky. Took a pretty nice profit, 50 points of profit. So that made up for the loss earlier this week, I think. Let's check the spreadsheet. Yep, so looking at the spreadsheet, you can see that we took 2 trades this week. On the 30th, we had that long that gave us a loss of $70, and then this one was about half a risk as well, and we made 100. So this was actually a pretty nice trade, 1.8 to 1, so close to 2 to 1. Made up for the previous loss. Pretty happy this week, even though it will be nice to get more wins. It's even nicer when you make up a loss. So I think that's pretty much it. This is the end of my time window, and not going to be trading on Thursday and Friday, but I will go to the end of day on each day and just kind of like read the price action, and maybe that'll give me a little bit of insight going into next week. All right, guys, crazy action at the end of the day. You can see something big happened at 2 o'clock to 2:30. Don't know really what was going on, but some news. We broke out massively to the upside, took out the buy side, went up for that fair value gap, but then just as quickly as we went up, we slammed all the way down back to where we started. So let's see, this big move was from what, 470 to 770, so like a 300-point move up, 300-point move down. Crazy Wednesday on non-farm payroll week. All right, so Thursday morning, probably just stay and analyze this on the 1 hour chart. You can see yesterday we had that big move up and big move down. So I'm kind of looking at this as a balanced price range. So as long as we're underneath these balanced price range, then I'm looking for prices to go lower. I'm going to be bearish, looking for the sell side to get taken down here. I'm running through that 1 hour CP through. We could revisit it and then we start heading lower for this low on Wednesday, and of course this target back into that weekly BISI. However, if we do go above the balanced price range here, then I think we're going to go for the buy side, take out the highs over here, and of course go back into that daily CIBI. So looking at the price action for the day is still the 1 hour chart. We can see that around 8 o'clock, 9:30, we started going lower. We took out the sell side down here. However, we bounced back up and we are heading close to the high of this balanced price range. So I have a feeling that going into Friday, we're going to go above the balanced price range here. So going into Friday, I would expect it to go and take out the buy side. But, 8:30 non-farm payroll, anything can happen. Okay, so here we are, Friday, May 3rd, NFP day. It's a little bit before 8 o'clock. I will jump down to the lower time frame, but looking at the 1 hour, we have a fair value gap here. I'm just going to go ahead and move this. That should kind of do it. It's red, but this is a BISI. So I'm thinking that we're going to go back into this BISI and then we're going to make a move up for the buy side above these highs, just because we are above this balanced price range now. I don't think we're going to go back down lower. Of course, non-farm payroll, anything could happen, but that's pretty much what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like maybe take out this low and then head for the buy side going into that daily CIBI. Okay, so this is the 15-minute chart and we are right before 8:30. Let's see what happens on NFP day. And then boom, we didn't take out this low, but pretty much at 8:30, heading straight up for the buy side. That's going to be all the buy side. You remember, if we go back to the 1 hour, these flat areas right here, we are heading back up above there, and I'll probably go into that daily CIBI. Back on the 1 hour, this is just before 9:30. You can see that we did take out the buy side, and then here I'm going to click through 9:30. We went back up one more time, and then clicking through a few more minutes, we did go back up to that daily CIBI. So at this point, I will pretty much be done for the day. If I was looking to trade today, I mean, I guess we could go into the middle part of that CIBI. That can also be another trade if you want to take your target up further. I don't really see us dropping down. I mean, we could, I think maybe we return back into this inefficiency, maybe to this new week opening gap, and then make another run for the middle part of that daily CIBI. I'm going to jump straight to the end of the day and see what it looks like. Okay, so end of the day, 5 o'clock, didn't do much. We pretty much just consolidated at the low of that daily CIBI. We did push up higher just a little bit, fell short of 50% of that SIBI, and we're just pretty much just consolidating it at the lows. So going to a daily chart and going into next week, if this SIBI holds up, I'll look for price to drop down, hopefully very fast, very sharply down for the sell side target below this low, and of course this low. And if we get through this weekly BISI, then I'm looking for price to come back down through here, and I don't think it's going to stop. I want it to keep going into this daily void. So going into next week, I'm going to be very bearish. But that's it for this video. Thank you for joining me for another backtesting session. Please like this video and subscribe if you haven't done so. I hope these backtesting sessions have been helping you guys in your own backtesting or your own trading. Please let me know in the comments if it has helped you out or not. And until I see you guys next time, safe trading.